All right, so Nathaniel Joseph, wide receiver, he's already committed to the Tigers, committed on September 10th of 2021. 5'8", 170 pounds from Edson High School in Miami, Florida, 2023 guy. Now we're moving into our 2023 commits and recruits that Clemson's going after. 4-star overall on 24/7 Sports Composite, top 100 player in the nation, one of the best wide receivers in the nation, has 35 total offers from Clemson, Miami, Alabama, Arizona State, Coastal Carolina, but committed currently to Clemson. I know a lot of rumors out there that Mario Cristobal and team and Josh Gaddis are going to try to go after Ray Joseph and steal him from the Tigers. But this is an electric wide receiver that Clemson has as their only commit so far in the 2023 class. Now, when I look at wide receivers, you typically want to see somebody that's maybe taller or bigger, but this guy fits that perfect slot receiver role. And he is super, super dynamic and elusive on the field. He is somebody that reminds me a ton of a faster Amari Rodgers. I know I was going to say Artavis Scott, but Artavis Scott was actually over 6 foot tall. So this guy is not 6 foot tall. Al, what's your thoughts? We'll start out with you on Nathaniel Joseph.
Well, I like the comparison, first of all. That's from Morgan Thomas as always. Look, great speed, great explosion. You can see that on the film. He's got really good balance. I think you saw earlier in one of his highlights, he got slung completely around and somehow kept his feet, cut it back for a touchdown. It's always good to see. He's got excellent vision. Something I noticed in his film is I think he seems to have pretty soft hands. He's a pretty natural pass catcher. And one thing I really, really love about this guy, and you see it in some of his highlights maybe later on, he's really adjusts for the quarterback on the fly. When the quarterback's scrambling, this guy just knows where to go to get open, and that's a very good thing. I remember watching his film and thinking, I really want to see more contested catches from this guy, because what he does in a lot of his film is just stand there and wait for him to throw the ball and then takes off with it, like on a little screen pass. But you can see some contested catches later in the film, so that was something I really wanted to see from him and was able to. Look, there's no way to tell from the highlights whether he's going to be a willing blocker, if he's going to come in and play like the Collins boys did at the end of the year this past season. So hopefully he's able to do that. But he is the kind of slot receiver Clemson needs to update this offense. I think this is the kind of guy that has. This is the Clemson needs and has lacked.
Houston, what are your thoughts on him?
If you're looking for a player comp, I know people at home are going to hate this, but I'm only saying this because I wanted him to be in orange and purple, and he went to my high school, and I got to shout him out. But he just played for an NFC championship. Deebo Samuels is a lot of what I see out of this kid. And I saw Deebo play in high school, and he did a lot of the same things. He just does things with the ball. You could also draw comparisons to Antonio Williams. Antonio Williams has a lot of things that he could do, even though Antonio Williams is a little taller and he can be used a little bit more than just slot. This guy's got a lot to offer. And I think to Alan's point, it's true. We haven't had a true slot guy like this to come through and have game breaking speed in a minute. And I think if you're able to hang on to him, which I feel good thus far of all the returns, he seems to be really loyal to that offer. You get him on campus, this guy's going to be Hollywood, man. This guy's got some film.
I mean, I like what I see. I got a lot of thoughts about just how explosive he is. I mean, you just see like within moments he's gone. He knows how to make, like when I look at things that I'm looking for. Okay, is he a consistent threat every time he's on the field? I think you guys would both agree that is definitely the case. I think it would definitely happen. I'm just thinking, imagine a wide receiver lineup where you have Bo Collins, Adam Randall on the outside. And then you have Antonio Williams, and you have Ray Joseph in the slot on the insides, and you could interchange Dakari Collins in there as too. I don't want to disrespect any of the other great outside receivers, but we noticed that last year Clemson was lacking that slot guy. Obviously, he's not going to be on the team this season, but coming into the 2023 season, I got to feel like as dynamic as he already is and elusive and just amazingly fast he is, you're not going to be able to keep this guy off on the field. I mean, you're not going to be able to keep him off the field. He's going to be in special teams, I think it looks like, and he's going to be on the field trying to get those. I mean, he already does those bread and butter like wide receiver screen plays. One catch, one turn, gone. I mean, there's nothing to hate about his film. I love everything about it. Al, we talked about how great someone like Branson Watt Robinson's film looks. This guy and Justice Haynes, which we're going to go over here too. I mean, these guys, how can you not get excited about these players when you see their film? Now, I know they only show you their best stuff. Is there anything? I mean, I cannot pick out one thing that I don't like about these guys, other than he's my height. I mean, but I think that works great for his position. Not everybody can be 6'4" like Allen. Some of us guys gotta get in the slot position and do the dirty work. Al, what do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, the only knock I could come up with is just there's no film on him blocking, and of course they're not gonna have any film on him blocking. It's a highlight film. They're supposed to show the good stuff. But I think that's just kind of it. You want a physical receiver. You want a guy that's going to do the work when the ball's not coming to him. It's something that Clemson loves. It's something Clemson teaches, and that's the kind of stuff you're looking for. And all those intangibles you just can't see on film, and the ones that you can't see what kind of player he is play in and play out because we're not at the games. We're just seeing the best of the best here.
How much movement does he waste? Not a lot. Does he burst into his routes? Yes. Does he show where he can do one-step cuts? Yes. Does he show he has great catching ability? I think yes. Can he separate himself? Yes. Does he have rare, unfound, unmatched speed? Yes. I mean, and has he shown that he can do a wide variety of the wide receiver tree that is consistent with what Clemson already runs? I say yes as well. This guy's going to be ready to go. Houston, do you think so too?
Yeah, I mean, I think so. And I think even if you have, you mentioned a couple names of guys that might be on the wide receiving roster in the 2023 season, you don't have to necessarily treat it as, well, we've got this set up this way, this setup. You can always tweak it to who is your best weapons. I mean, honestly, what I'd love for them to do is use him in the same vein as what West Virginia did back in the early to mid 2000s with Tavon Austin. You might just use him, or what Clemson did with Artavis Scott in 2014. You didn't really use him for much except for those little pot passes. And you know what? You're going to get 2 70-yard touchdowns in one game with that sometimes. So you can adjust on the fly. Even if it's a loaded room, you can create formations and game plans to get him the ball at specific times.
All right, we got a chat in there. Jordan Bowman gets in, says, God, I hope we hold on to Ray. Teams are pushing hard. It's always uncomfortable having commits this early. Al, I'm not opposed to having commits early. I know Dabo wants them to sign on the dotted line before their senior season, and a lot of people don't like that. But at least they got them to push it to December. What do you think, Al? Is there a huge risk? Are you worried that crystal ball's down? I know we talked about this a few times about, Miami seems to have that elaborate, shiny new head coach that everybody's loving to see and ready to see what he can do. Does that worry you, considering he's from Miami? By the way, his high school is home of Devonta Freeman. So they have actually put out, I think, over 15 different NFL players from that high school. So definitely a factory down there in Miami. And I know those people in Miami are really big on not losing players to Clemson.
Yeah. I mean, it's always something that perks your ears up a little bit, especially when you got a recruiter like Cristobal. I mean, it's just kind of one of those things that comes with the territory. If you've got players that people are coming after, that's a good sign. Okay, that's what you want. So yeah, I'm all for him signing early, and getting on the commit list, and we can hold on to him. I'm fine with that. I would much rather have that than the situation you're hoping at the very end you might get picked. And then left holding the bag for nothing. So I'm already all for having him, on the commit list. I think that's a good thing. And until I see anything that changes my mind, he's Clemson. So I'm good with it.